Oh, do I feel good today for a lot of different reasons. What's good, everybody? Welcome in to Driving the Line. It's DTL. We are live every single weekday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, simulcast on YouTube and on Stadium. We're also live now on Sundays during the NFL season. I'm your host, the coach, and we've got a full slate of games here to talk about. This is only NFL. You want baseball? Go somewhere else. Damn it. It's all National Football League. Now, I got the best crew in the business, and we are coming off a fantastic Saturday at the Brand. Look at that. My man AB, 3 out of 4. Look at Charles, a first ever 5-pack, and he goes 4-1 with the football with a U. Let's go. That's how you lock it down on a Saturday. But that's just half of the battle. Let's not waste any time. Do not forget, on the weekdays, we have DTL, the podcast, drops around 2 p.m. Eastern. And then for you premium members, you get the video every single weekday. Today, we are streamlined. I got only 2 more because this is what we're doing right now. We're going 3 across. My man, with all due respect to AB, the man that gets 15 seconds this morning, 4-1 on your first 5-pack, the man from the Dirty. Big Chuck, good morning. You get the 15 seconds.
Morning, Coach. Crew, yeah, I definitely want to congratulate AB on his nice day as well. So I'm kind of mad that I didn't sweep it. That Ipswich kind of annoyed me that we didn't get both teams to score. So, yeah, I was happy to see the 4-1 with 2 plus 200 winners in there as well. So I'm already excited, already breaking down next week as well. So excited to see what we can roll out for next week's 5-pack, but just equally excited about today's NFL card.
Love you, Chuck. Love your dedication, man. Love the 5-pack. AB, I know that last night you were going, the Ipswich game didn't hit. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Yeah, I was upset about Sandwich Town. I thought that they were really going to get the job done, but apparently they are the Kent State of whatever league that they're in. Nice Vols win, only 71-0.
That felt like a bad high school game last night. Did they cover? Did they cover? Holy smokes.
Yeah, 49.5. We hit the over 62.5 in the first half.
Can you imagine? Big Cheesy says poor Kent State.
Yeah.
Taking the 49.5 and just watching it go down the tubes. That's like when you lay those big numbers or you take the big numbers. Oh, my gosh.
Now, here's the best part. Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Here's the best part. This week, all right, so coming up this Saturday, game day is going to be in Norman, Oklahoma, because Tennessee plays Oklahoma. Now, you remember Josh Heupel, quarterback Oklahoma, national champion, almost won a Heisman. Then he was a coach. He was the OC, and they fired his ass. And you know what? Got a feeling old Heupel remembers that one, son.
I'm feeling a team total bet coming on for the Volunteers this coming week, AB.
Big time. Hey, Oklahoma, this ain't Tulane, Hoss.
Paul said Kent State needed the National Guard. At least they got that $1.3 million. They got $1.3 mil.
It could be better. Florida State paid Memphis $1.3 million to come into their own place and beat them.
Man, we cashed on Memphis too, plus the 7, and they got $1 million. And now Florida State's what, 0-3?
0-3.
Oh, can you imagine walking around those halls in Tallahassee right now? What a disaster.
Yeah, they're checking out, man. They're done.
Big time. Do you know
one of the players at Kent State told their coach, he said, Coach, we kept him under 100. We get to go to Buc-ee's after the game, right? You promised.
AB's on one this morning. This is awesome. By the way, I need to give myself a little bit of credit. Do you guys know what happened to me yesterday?
No.
So probably the last time that I broke 80, which if you're a golf fan, you know, for an amateur, that's a big deal. It's probably in the 90s or early 2000s. And I broke 80 yesterday and shot a 77.
Attaboy.
Felt really good. Really good.
It is good.
Then I went to a charity poker event last night. And you know when you normally get up at 5 a.m. and your body's used to going to bed around 8 or 8:30, and then you stay up until 1 a.m. and you realize you have a show in 5 hours?
That's when you start using Excedrin extra strength. I know that feeling well.
Big Chuck, do you ever feel like AB's like, you know, one of those clowns where you can just pull stuff out of the pocket and there's just always something there? I don't know where he comes up with this stuff.
Like the one on The Simpsons?
We can
yes,
play Uno.
exactly. You got the Uno deck. The Little Caesars pizza was the best one. Oh, this? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. All right, enough jerking around. We got a lot to get to today in the NFL. By the way, on your way in, hit that like button for us, please. It really helps the show grow. And I already see a lot of you. Rick, my son did beat me by a few. A lot of you are already putting in some of the bets that you like today. So here on the morning show, we're going to do discussion, picks, props, a couple of storylines. There's a lot to get to today. And AB, are you surprised? Because I was looking at the schedule, and there are 4 West Coast teams that are coming to the Eastern time zone and playing a 1 o'clock game. Niners, Vikings, I guess it's still 1 o'clock, even though it's Central time zone. Seahawks, Patriots, Chargers, Panthers, Raiders, and Ravens. Have you ever seen anything like this before?
Usually they don't do that this early in the season, right? I feel bad for the Raiders. I think they're in a tough spot today.
What do you think, Big Chuck? The Raiders going to Baltimore, the Ravens 10 days off, and they lost on that toe being too long in the end zone. They're going to be fired up today, huh?
Yeah, terrible spot for the Raiders. You may even want to look at their team total under as well. I think they may a good spot. I don't think they're going to score many points. So terrible spot for them having to travel to the East Coast. So, yeah, not a fan of the Raiders in that spot, even though people still say they're catching 9, so it's the spot to take them.
All right, let's get into some of the big games today because at 1 o'clock today, everybody is talking about this game. And you never know how good a team is, AB, until they play a good team. The Saints come out of the blocks last week. They score 47. And now, according to DraftKings, the Cowboys are favored by 6, and the total at 46.5. I think this is a spot, AB, where Dallas wants to show the home crowd their home opener. They got their quarterback locked up. They've got CeeDee Lamb locked up. And I think today could be fireworks in Dallas. Your take?
I agree. And remember, what the Cowboys did to the Browns was a lot of the Cowboys' defense. The offense really didn't do a whole lot. Now, it didn't have to do a whole lot, but still. I mean, it wasn't like this was an offensive just, beatdown, right? So I think that plays into the Cowboys' favor. I'm interested still, and I will be all season, at the Cowboys' run game because it is important. It will definitely help and alleviate the passing game. But, I mean, betting against the Cowboys today, it seems brutal. And CeeDee Lamb, I believe, has a touchdown in 9 straight home games as well. So something to keep an eye on with that.
And this game, Chuck, may be in our best bets coming up in a couple of minutes. But the Cowboys are in, I think, the most unique situation that we've ever seen, at least in our lifetime in the NFL. What I mean by that is they're a really good team. They've had 3 really good regular seasons, and then they get to the playoffs and they lay an egg, or they run into Jordan Love, who has a career game for the youngster. And so now, even if you're not a Cowboys fan, you're looking at this team and you're saying to yourself, all right, well, what happens when we get to the playoffs? Well, we still have 16 games left to perform, to show out, to have the fans enjoy watching us play. It's a really unique situation, no?
Same narrative every year with the Cowboys. Good regular season, get to the playoffs, and just totally collapse. And so, yeah, always tremendous expectations on the Cowboys. At home today, they're keep this in mind. They were 8-0 last season at Jerry's World against the spread. So they're pretty good at home in the regular season. So, yeah, but once it's all based, everything they do is based off the playoffs going forward. We know what they do in the regular season, so you have to show us what you do in the playoffs.
You're very, very correct. You are watching DTL live on a Sunday morning as the live audience continues to grow. AB, John says AB is the guy in the white van on the corner who has anything you need. Speakers, tires, watches, cases of beer, bottles of liquor. You got it all, AB.
Hey, whatever you need, man. All right, look, got some JL Audio W712s. If you need those in the trunk, get a little bass going for Sunday morning. Phoenix Gold amp. Got some T-shirts.
Well, you would be right
Taco
on the
Bell
corner today in Tennessee because you got a home game. And I want to skip down to that one next before we get to the Chiefs game because the Jets come in off the kind of pathetic showing against San Francisco, just a bad nighttime game. And now Aaron Rodgers, who proved AB, he is not even close to 100% when it comes to his mobility, cannot run to the left and throw. That was very apparent. So I'm anxious to see how Tennessee attacks this game from a defensive perspective, coming off a week when they made history. They were up by 17. They were 4-point dogs, 66-1-1 when a team's in that situation since 2019, and they lose to the Bears 24-17. So locally, what has been kind of the mindset or the vibe around Tennessee?
Well, make that unbelievable record you just said. Go ahead and add to it that in that comeback, the Bears didn't score an offensive touchdown.
Oh.
It was all the defense. So what do you think Tennessee's going to do? Because it literally cost them a game of making the big mistake. So they're going to try to avoid that at all costs. What does that mean? You're going to try to run the football and keep things safe. Short passes, try to do that. Couple and counter that with a Jets defense that was just embarrassed on national television. I bet that this week has been insane for them. So what are they going to do? They're going to stop the run because, my God, they were gashed on that, which they'll be able to do against Tennessee in that, offensive line. And then number two, they're going to try to get Tennessee off the field. So you've got a team not being aggressive and then a team on defense being aggressive. The Jets are going to run the football. The Titans are going to run the football. I say all that to say this is the most under type of a game on the planet. 41.5. That clock is not going to stop. I bet that this game is going to be pretty boring and it's just not going to be a lot of fun. But that's your narrative.
Just take that arm and just roll that clock all day in Tennessee today. And Aaron Rodgers, enough with the trips to Egypt, enough with the nonsense, enough with getting – how about you show up and be a leader one time, Big Chuck? Because Aaron Rodgers, when we think about him and the end of his career, it's not going to be about the Super Bowl. It's not going to be about Green Bay. It's going to be about the last 2 years in New York that so far have been an absolute dud. Injury. And then the first game last week was not good.
Hey, so I text Roger's brother this morning and I said, because they live in Nashville, right? And I was like, hey, you and Aaron, y'all meeting up for breakfast? He goes, shut up.
Like, we probably shouldn't laugh, but they've been estranged for like 15 years. They haven't spoken in 15 or 20 years.
No,
and
it ain't nice.
You're savage. You're savage. Sorry, Big Chuck, your take, bud.
Yeah, I don't think we'll really remember. Think about Favre. He went to New York and Minnesota, and we still mostly remember his Green Bay days. So I don't, a few years down the line, it'll probably just be a thing of the past as well. But on this game, I think I see this spread going up as well. So I originally was liking the Titans. I may be back in the Jets here. And then this may be a tricky over. I know everyone's thinking under as well. But if the Jets are going to win, it's kind of a correlation. I think we see more points because they're definitely going to try to take away the run, which kind of create turnovers, short fields. We may see a lot of short fields. And then last week, that was only the third time that a team in NFL history come back and won down 17 points without a touchdown as well. So that was a crazy stat. So I think we may see a lot of short fields. I think they're going to try to take away the run, make Levis pass. So I think it's kind of a correlation. But if it's lower scoring, I definitely like the Titans in this game.
That was a game that you look back on in a year or 5 years or 10 years when you go, that can never happen. No, you remember Titans and Bears? It happened that night. Real quick, AB, Brendan wants to know, what about Garrett Wilson anytime touchdown today?
I don't mind it at all. Look, the Titans defense isn't bad, especially the defensive line. They got some dogs on that defensive line. But Aaron Rodgers will be able to take apart the secondary a little bit. Not a ton. The secondary's not bad either. Really, the Titans defense. Yeah, the Titans defense is not that bad, but if you're going to beat them, it would be in the air. So, yeah, I don't mind that. Just be careful. There just might not be a lot of touchdowns scored. You know what I mean? That's 100%. Just the only thing. Yeah,
100%. Keep your eye on that. I do have this little gut feeling, guys, this little gut feeling that the Jets and their play calling will lean towards trying to let Aaron Rodgers show out. Whether he does it or not, I don't know. But I feel like they'll want to try and get him cut loose from the pocket and throw a little bit more. But AB, you know this way better than I. It's just kind of a gut that I have, but we'll see how it plays out. All right, the third featured game today is my squad, the two-time defending champions. And somehow the schedule makers gave us 2 home games and the first Thursday game. We've had 10 days off. We're healthy, sort of, feeling good. Travis and Patrick had a trip to New York. They're back. Everything's good. And then they bring in the Cincinnati Bengals. And this number has continued to go up. It was at 5. Now it's at 6. The total at 47.5. They will not have Hollywood Brown. More on that coming up in a moment. But AB, there was some mouths chirping this week in Cincinnati. And Jamar Chase and a few others basically are saying, I don't care what happened last week. I don't care if we only scored 10 points against the New England Patriots at home and laid an egg. And about 50% of all eliminator pools are now over because of us. They're not talking about that. They're talking about we're still the team to beat in the AFC. How in the world do these players become as delusional as they are based off of what we saw in week number 1?
You know what? It's hilarious hearing that. You're like, oh, wait, you're the class of the AFC. But if you could convince yourself of it, there you go right there. Look, the opposite side of that. On Seinfeld, George told Jerry, you know what? It's not a lie if you believe it. All right. And that, I mean, hey, if it works, it works. The biggest thing for week 2 in the NFL, and I heard Bill Belichick talk about this, and it's true with betting, and it's true with coaches, players, everything. There's a huge overreaction from week 1 to week 2. Now, I don't know if that plays out here. The Bengals could be terrible, or the Bengals could come out and look great, right? Just be careful with a spread of 6. That's a big number. Here's a stat for you. Every single game that Mahomes and Burrow have played against each other has been decided by 3 points or less. All of them.
Bananas.
Yeah. So be careful.
So before we get to the picks, we need to welcome in a new member to the crew. Not a premium member, not a crew member, but a very special young member who is learning how it's done at a top-notch level. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome for the very first time Pat's 3-year-old son, Matthew, watching live right here. Pat's an OG. And now Matthew, maybe he'll be on the crew, AB, in like 18 years. He'll be showing up on Sunday mornings.
He will. And Matthew, let me go ahead and tell you this. All right. What you want to do is you want to get that Vols spread against Oklahoma. Go ahead and lock that in later today. All right. When it comes out, I'm looking at about Tennessee -4. It's solid. And if you use promo code, no, I'm kidding.
Big Chuck, I can only imagine you as a 3-year-old, what you sounded like, and if you were giving out soccer picks when you were 3 and 4, that would be hilarious.
More like horse racing.
Oh
that was my
God.
first jam.
Oh my God! Don't get me started. You calling horse racing with Raphael? Oh my God!
Yeah, he was talking to Raphael on the phone. He was like, "Look, I'm really feeling socks over here at race 9 at Keeneland."
All right, we've talked the featured games, but you come here to get fire picks, and coming off a 66% Saturday with 21 picks, we're fired up for another one. And rare is the day that you get to cash with the coach, but today is one of those days. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the picks. All right, here we go. So here are the picks today from all 3 of us. And Charles, I want to come over to you first, and I just want you to give us your first one. You like the Saints Cowboys to go north of the total today, yes?
These two tend to play high-scoring games when in Jerry's world, especially 4 of the last 5 have went over. So them both coming off high-scoring games last week, I expect a fast-paced game. Give me the over 46.5 with the Cowboys and the Saints.
AB, this was almost a play for me. I love this spot because even if they get out to a big lead, I just think Dallas is going to keep that gas pedal down all day. You?
I do too. And if you go and place this at BetMGM, you could take the Cowboys money line and the over. You could move it down to 39.5, and you could get it right there. Good money, good juice. Absolutely, man. I'm all with the Cowboys today.
So that's a same game parlay. Basically, the Cowboys on the money line, and the over, you can bring it down on an alt line. Is that how you would do it?
Yep.
Okay. Very good. Always think there's different ways to attack everything. Now, we mentioned the 49ers, one of those 4 teams going to the east. Let's call it that, because Minnesota is in the central time zone, but it doesn't change the fact they're still playing at 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock local body time. But you think, Charles, this one goes to the over?
Another up-tempo game, and plus 49ers games, 4 of their last 5 have went over, and same with the Vikings. I think everyone may think it may be a defensive struggle, but yeah, I think we're going to see plenty of points in this one. So yeah, give me the over 46 with the 49ers and the Vikings.
By the way, all you twerps out there, I see all you making fun of me, front 9. What'd you score on the back 9? I'm not going to acknowledge anybody out there. No, I know what I did yesterday, damn it. And it wasn't in a scramble either. So stop it, Big Cheesy. All right. I got to be honest, AB. I don't know if I agree with this over in the 49ers Vikings game. I think the 49ers, because of their injuries, may want to just try and get in and get out. Your thoughts?
Look, I see where you're going, because I agree. The 49ers can hold the ball a lot. Like, they can run the clock and run the football all day long. That being said, who in the world am I to question my man Big Chuck? Every day this dude is going 4 out of 5. I don't care if he's picking Ipswich down, Sandwich down, San Francisco down. I mean, look, man, I roll with it. But I see what you're saying. Like, that's the concern, is that San Francisco's so good that their defense can just shut you out, and they can just run the ball the whole time. Like, that's always a concern. So I totally see what you're saying there.
It's going to be a little bit of a sweat, I believe, but I'm with you, AB. We can never question Big Chuck. Now, third and final play for Charles. We're going to Washington, the worst stadium in all of the league. The worst tailgating in all of the league. By the way, we'll have a new Seabass segment tonight on Primetime Live. But you think today in Washington, Big, we're going to see points as well?
This is another spot where these teams get together in Washington. They just play high-scoring games. 4 of the last 5 went over, plus them losing their first games. Both are going to be desperate to get that first victory. So I see plenty of points in this one. Yeah, make it the trifecta over 43.
Jared actually agrees with you. He says, if you know, you know. They may want to try that, but Vikings are going to let score. So he's on that over in Minnesota with you as well. AB, your thoughts? This is such an interesting NFC East this year. You got the Eagles and Dallas, who looked really good in week 1, and then you got Giants and Washington. Washington let 37 go through by Tampa, and the Giants just, I don't even know what that was. So now these two play each other.
They do. And you know what? If you're Daniel Jones, all right, you've seen this team before. You understand it. Teams generally play better. Quarterbacks do, at least, when they are facing division foes here. I like the over. I think that both quarterbacks probably play better than they did in week 1. This could be one of those weird games that, like, you don't watch, but, like, you keep seeing on the ticker, and it's like 7-0 immediately,
Yes.
10-3. You're like, what is going on in this game?
Hell?
I could see that. Yeah.
Those are always the games that drive me nuts, because then we go, well, Big Chuck was right, and I don't play it. And those are the ones that drive you insane, but it is what it is. Matt Ray says, I like both quarterbacks rushing props.
Yes.
In Giants and Commanders. You like that too, AB?
I do, because you've got 2 quarterbacks trying to do any damn thing they can, especially Daniel Jones. I mean, it's all or nothing now, man. Yeah, that's a sharp play. I love it.
All right, very, very good. Big Chuck, well done on your 3. Now, if we're going to cash with the coach today, I got 4 big plays for you. And I don't know how I feel about my third one, because now Big Cheesy has my back. But I will rip through them. Cowboys -6. I don't think this one's going to be close. I really don't. I think Dallas wants to show out. Dak and CD want to show out. I don't think Lamb has a big day, though, and that's coming up in Prop It Up. I also like the Chargers -5. Now, they're in Carolina. I see a lot of people in the chat talking about Bryce, talking about Carolina. Are they as bad as they looked last week against the Saints? Let me tell you, yes, they are. They are not a good football team, and I think Jim Harbaugh and that Chargers team, ugly last week, 22-10, but they could go 2-0. And they'll do it in Carolina today with that really good defense and an offense that's getting going. Then my third play, I love the Cardinals on the money line. And this is the 405 game, the only 405 game on the slate. The Rams, you go to their injury report, it's like 8 or 9 dudes. But the biggest dude is one of the smallest dudes, Puka Nacua. And when you don't have him on one side, Cooper Kupp, welcome to double team land, because that's what you're going to get the entire day. Arizona almost won in Buffalo last week. They scored 28 against the Bills. I think home opener, they play very well, and they win on the field today. Take the money line. And my last play, I love my Kansas City Chiefs. I think the Bengals are overrated. I think the Bengals are not what anybody, certainly in that locker room, thinks that they are. And this number has continued to creep up throughout the week. That's why we talk about early lines on Monday and Tuesday. But I think the Chiefs soar by 10 or more today. Let me get reaction. Big Chuck, you like anything on my board today?
Yeah, definitely that Cardinals, even though the Rams have owned them, I think they're like 10-1, 10-2, and plus the Chiefs, which that one's kind of makes me a little leery, but being with the Bengals as well. But that Chargers is an interesting one as well. I'm thinking with the Chargers, most people think it'd be low scoring. I think if the Chargers come out and win, I think they're going to put up some points. So don't be surprised to see a correlation with the Chargers in the over.
All right. AB, your thoughts on my 4-pack?
I like them. I really like that Chargers -5, even though they're going across the country here. Panthers obviously not that good of a football team. They can cause turnovers. And Jim Harbaugh this week gave the team workman shirts, okay, and said, look, I grew up in a family that respected people who did hard-ass work during the week. Yeah, and he said that's what this team is about. That's what it is about. Do it for your brother. Get the extra block. Dude, the Chargers are loving Jim Harbaugh right now. Like, that dude is a culture machine, and they could go in and smash Carolina, man.
That is no doubt 100%. No matter what you think about Jim Harbaugh, what you make of Jim Harbaugh, when it comes to getting teams ready to play, every place he's gone, he's got his teams ready to play, including last year, won a national championship. So I love that little nugget. By the way, in the chat, Jared, a couple of things. Teams that went 0-1 in week 1 that play each other in week 2, the dogs are covering 65%. That's a good nugget. And then Matt says AB sweating out a punt bet on his favorite team is hilarious. I love it. We do love you sweating out. Anything on Tennessee, we're here for. We're here for.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
Got to do it, man. Got to do it.
Right. We got to do it. Now, these sports books, as you can see from AB's slate today, you can bet on pretty much anything. That's why you got to come here on Sunday mornings to really delve through all the mud and the muck. And AB, I would love, and then we'll have our reactions to it, and you already kind of tipped your hand a little bit with that Cowboys money line and over 39.5. Why don't we start there?
Absolutely. So I think the Cowboys are going to win this game. All right. Nothing against the Saints. I love everything that they've done, but the Cowboys are going to win this game. And over 39.5, the Cowboys are going to score, and the Saints are going to score too. All right. Add in that you've got a Cowboys defense that can score. I'm all over it. Getting it under that number of 40, all with that. We could do it 20-20, right? I mean, that's kind of what you're looking at. I'm not saying that's the final score, but like, because it can't be. But you get what I'm saying, right? Like, we don't need a ton. All right, just going to keep it simple. Now, going up to the Ravens against the Raiders. You nailed it. The Ravens have had 10 days off. They've not got embarrassed by Kansas City, but that was a game that they really needed to win. What are you going to get out of them today? They're going to play hellacious defense, and they're going to run the football, and they're going to score every single drive that they can. All right, we're going to take the Ravens -8. I like that number. I know that it looks big. They're playing at home. The Ravens cover big spreads like this. They do when they're playing at home, because you know what? You've got another Harbaugh out there, and John Harbaugh, and he understands it. And there's nobody better in the red zone, special teams, all of that. I'm rolling with the Baltimore Ravens here at home. I'll eat the 8 points, and let's get that one going. Now, we talked about it. Jets, Titans. All right. I like the under 41.5. Give that one to me. I think that this is a game to where, again, you're going to see a clock that's running, and you're going to see really a Titans offense that could get stymied a little bit. That's why we're also taking the Titans with more punts than the Jets, because we're not afraid to sweat a punts bet right here in Nashville. It's a beautiful day out here. It's perfect. It's finally not 7,000 degrees with 100% humidity out here. It feels really nice. So Titans over Jets, most punts in the game, plus 145. You could find that really everywhere, but DraftKings is where I got it. Go to defense, special teams, and scroll down. Just keep going. There are a ton of bets out there. Titans to punt more times than the Jets. All right, plus 145. Then finally, Steelers and the Broncos over 36.5. 36.5. You know why I'm playing this? Because I totally get it. You're saying to yourself, well, there could be a lot of punts in this game. There could be a lot of just not much in this game. And you're right. But that's going to lead to short fields, and both of these teams are going to turn the ball over, Denver especially. So it's going to lead to short fields and quick opportunities to score, even if they are field goals. Literally 20-17 gets this bet for us. I'll take it over 36.5 because both defenses can also score as well, safeties and touchdowns. I'll roll with that. I'll go contrarian here while everyone is going under. I'll roll with the over.
By the way, we got word last night, and I haven't seen really anybody confirm it yet. But as I was sitting at my charity poker game, it started circulating, guys, that Russell Wilson will play today and that Russell Wilson could start today. I haven't seen any confirmation from Schefter or anybody else. Have you guys seen anything confirming that yet?
No, not confirmed.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I agree. Keep your eye on that throughout the day. Remember, it's an afternoon game. Just be careful depending on who starts at quarterback. But regardless, I love that overplay in Denver by AB. AB, shout out to our girl Wendy in the chat. She disagrees with your boy, but she's doing it very subtly. She says McVay is 10-1 against the Cardinals. Does that give us pause on our Cardinals pick? Maybe a little. Maybe a little.
Yeah, like that's a number for a reason. You know what I mean?
That Bills Dolphins kind of feel.
Yeah. And then also what you just brought up, you're talking about Russell Wilson?
Yeah.
Hello, Denver. He might want to have a little revenge out there.
It's going to be an interesting day. And Chuck, that's a great, I think that kind of just slid through a few seconds ago. It does have that feel. We're talking Rams and Cardinals quickly. It has that feel of what the Bills and Dolphins had the other night. Nobody really gave the Bills a chance. And they were only getting 2.5, and they went out and just laid it on Miami. And so maybe be careful in week 2. AB says people like to overreact as well. I just got a text, and I got a question for you guys. Who do you think today has the most tickets written or the highest percentage of tickets written in their game? Do you have
Ravens.
any guess, Chuck? Charles?
Ravens?
Close. 86% are taking Ravens at -8.5. There's one that's higher than that, which is crazy. But there's a team higher. AB, any guess?
So, all right, you said the Ravens, right?
Ravens was 86%. The week 2 NFL lopsided size. Raphael just sent this in.
I think it's the other Harbaugh.
Boom! 90% on the Chargers over the Panthers today. Then the third is our boy Big Cheesy's team, 49ers, 86%. 86%. And AB, there are 75% of the tickets are on the Jets, -3.5 in Tennessee.
Yep. That makes sense. That? 4, good number.
No doubt about it. All right, those are our straight plays. And by the way, can I just take a second to thank all of you watching live on a Sunday morning? You have just made this our highest watched live Sunday show that we've ever had. You guys did that today, right here, right now. Amazing. But sometimes when you maybe don't have that energy, you say, oh, do I really want to get up on a Sunday? You show up and you prop it up. All right, we like to separate things out, and this is where we have all of our prop plays. We have moved DG's over. Greg Zerline over 1.5 field goals. Carlos Santos, which cashed last week. Let's do it again this week, over 1.5 field goals. And J.K. Dobbins. Let's go a little combo over 67.5 rushing and receiving yards as well, minus 110. All right, Big Chuck. I'm looking at 3 names I love. And I love how I like your betting style. Everybody's got a style. Yours is usually things that match up in the game, whether it's a straight play or whether it's a prop play. And you stick to that method. And it works a lot more than it doesn't. Give me your 3, sir.
I'm glad you said that, Coach. That's what I tell people all the time. Find what you're good at and try to perfect it. Don't try to be the smartest guy in the room. And then it just gets easier for you over time. You see telltales and things just stick out. But Alvin Kamara, over 30.5 receiving yards. He averaged 35.8 last season. We know he's going to get plenty of passes out of the backfield, those little screen passes, wheel routes. He got 5 receptions last week. So I think he can get us at least 31 yards. George Kittle, over 46.5 receiving yards. He had a monster game against the Vikings last year. He had 5 catches, 78 yards. He almost got us there in week 1. I think he's going to get us at least 47 yards against this Vikings defense. Lastly, your boy Xavier Worthy, over 46.5 receiving yards. Another game where I think we're going to see some points. I expect the Bengals to try to take away Rashee Rice and Kelsey as much as possible, leaving Worthy some opportunities. He had 47 yards in week 1. I think he can get us 45 today with at least 3 or 4 catches.
Boom and boom. By the way, Megan says, you guys are amazing. I love Sunday Fun Day with DTL. Megan, so do we. Thank you so very much. I had a question for you, but now I can't remember what it is because you gave it to us so well, Big Chuck. Look at AB. He's got the right arms going, man. We only got a couple hours before we get to kickoff. Throw me the deep one. Throw me the deep one. I know what it was. Because, AB, I see that George Kittle over 46.5 receiving yards. And last week we talked a lot on Primetime Live when CMC was ruled out basically at the last minute. And it threw the sports books into a tizzy with the Jordan Mason number. They changed that to -5. It was a mess. But we now know today he's going to be out at least 4 games with that calf and Achilles issue. How much do you think the guys like Kittle, Debo, Ayuk, their numbers are going to change as far as their props are concerned?
It could be. And the tough part is that there's just so many mouths to feed. Like that's the even when they're healthy, it can be difficult because you can make a good bet and it still doesn't hit. Because it's just like, okay, whose day is it today? Kittle, Ayuk, Debo, Juwan Jennings, Jordan. Like, there's just so many. Like, that's the difficult part. The Chiefs deal with it. Like, you could bet Travis Kelce constantly, and you make a good bet, and he has 1 catch. You know what I mean? Because Rashee Rice has 9. Like, it's just stuff.
It's so frustrating because of those teams. And the 49ers and Chiefs are the worst about it because they will do that. Patrick Mahomes will be like, you know what? If you're going to guard him, like last week, Kelsey had 3 for 30-something. Both came into the under. And you notice there's no Kelsey on our boards today. There is Xavier Worthy, though, because he gets 1 past that defense. This dude can fly. 4.2 in the 40. By the way, real quick, Matt wants to know, Chuck, Kamara over 84.5 combo rush and receiving. Do you like it?
I like that as well. I definitely was looking at that when I agree. I think Kamara is going to be on the ground and through the air. So yeah, I definitely like that 84.5.
All right. Jared loves Kamara today as well. So I think, Charles, you're making a lot of people in the crew happy. By the way, don't forget to hit that like button. Mark says over 300 people watching. We have nearly 2,000 watching, Mark. We have a big, big audience today as we continue to grow. But hit that like button for us. All right, I got 2 big plays, AB. I like Lamar Jackson today. I think the Ravens know this is a must-win. And he sailed over 100 yards in the opening night against the Chiefs. And the more the Ravens try to change who they are, the more they're going to go back to who they have been. And when you need a win, you need Lamar Jackson to use his legs. And if there's not a 5 next to his number, I'm going to bang it every single time. So give me the over 48 and a half. And my other play, and a lot of people in the chat, well, a few don't like it. I'm going to fade CD Lamb under 87 and a half receiving yards because I feel like teams now understand this is the guy. And last week, he was essentially shut out by the Browns, but it didn't matter because the Cowboys were doing everything else. So I think today, AB, it's going to be more of the same. They're going to find a lot of different weapons all over the field and going to get to a point where CeeDee Lamb can sit because they're going to be up by 14, 17 points. Do you like that fade of the dynamic CeeDee Lamb?
I do, in the sense of this, is that what you just said. Number two, it's a big number. Like I'm always in on CeeDee Lamb, but that is a large number, right? Like I think that you could play receptions. Also remember this, CeeDee Lamb is the best wide receiver in the NFL from the slot position, literally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when you're in a slot, all right. So if you've got this, you've got your X and you've got your Y. All right. So if he's coming from the slot here, it's a lot of 5 to 7 yard slants, even 3 yard slants. Sometimes you will run a sluggo route, which is a slant and go, but you don't see that too terribly much from the middle of the field. That's more of a tight end play, and it could be a lot of cutting, fake the slant in, run it out to the flats. Yeah, I like that. I like fading the yardage for sure.
All right, very, very good. Apparently, our screen likes to fade the yardage as well. Are you guys seeing a blue screen also, or is it just me?
Just you.
Oh, apparently it's just me. Okay, very, very good. I'm seeing like all blue. Maybe it's just my
I'm blue. Oh,
all right, AB, you dug deep today. You dug deep. You got 5 big props. Rip them, and then me and
deep,
Chuck
coach.
will react.
Absolutely deep. So first off, Josh Jacobs, over 2.5 receptions. And let me tell you why. Malik Willis is the starting quarterback. I've seen Malik Willis in action. I'll give you a stat. In 3 starts, Malik Willis, his passer rating is 39.0. Not good. This is a statistical fact. If you snap the ball and spiked it on the ground all game, your passer rating would be 39.6. It's actually better to just spike it than what Malik Willis has done. So that's why we're going to take Josh Jacobs over 2.5 receptions at plus 125 because Matt LaFleur already runs a safe offense, and it is going to be this. Throwing it sideways to the running back. Safe as hell. Do not let him throw more than 2 yards down the field. Josh Jacobs is going to get all the action that he wants today. Now, we jump over here, and producer man, let me see it. Yeah, because we've got some wild stuff going on. DraftKings right now. Lamar Jackson, if you go to TD Scores and scroll down, Lamar Jackson, you could get 1+ touchdown, anytime touchdown, and the Ravens to win the game at plus 200. Plus 200. That's it. As easy as possible. I think Lamar Jackson scores today. I think Derrick Henry scores today too. Okay. Now, Malik Willis, Anthony Richardson, over 1.5 interceptions at plus 125. These combo INTs can come from either quarterback. Could be Malik throwing 2. Could be Anthony Richardson throwing 2. Could be 1 and 1. You just need to get to 2 with these guys. Malik, he can cover this on his own. I assure you. Richardson can too. Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson, a battle of Dabo Sweeney. All right. Clemson quarterbacks going at it today. I think both of them have a bad game. Take the combo there at plus 110. And then finally, Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow. I think this is going to be a tighter game than people might think. The Bengals, this is kind of a Super Bowl game for them, right? Like they're going to have to go all out. Patrick Mahomes, you know he'll do it too. Patrick Mahomes throws an interception every week and wins every week. Like, just play it. He's aggressive. I love everything about it. And look at that, plus 165 on that one. Burrow could throw 2, Mahomes 0, and you get plus 165. And then finally, it's going to be wet in some places out in the NFL today. What you have to do, all right, if you've got big, just gorilla hands like myself, all right, you got to take it and you've got to grip the first 2 laces of so that you can really squeeze and throw. All right. And you're going to want to throw low. It's like golf. All right. When you hit a stinger, you're going to see a lot of that in rain games. That gets balls tipped. Ball, Oski, interception. We're going to see a lot today.
I'm going to let all that wash over you for a second. It's been an incredible morning, and you guys come here and you guys continue to shock us. But I ask you one very simple question after everything you just heard and saw. And Melanie says, I want to start seeing AB throw the pigskin. My question is this. Do you want to do the work? I didn't think so.
Coach,
And
hey,
apparently the rest
do
of
it
the crew,
left-handed too.
you can do it all,
who wants to get down.
Big Chuck, are you right or left-handed?
I'm a righty.
You're a righty. All right, very good. Very good. A lot of reaction in the chat. Allie says, I like it, Coach. Big number. Fading the CD Lamb thing. Liddy is taking shots. Melanie, Big Cheesy, all of you, Rick, all of you OGs, Wendy, I cannot thank you enough. AB, this is now, without question, of any show we've ever done, AB, Chuck, the biggest audience we've ever had live. And that's amazing. Anything you'd like to say to the good people, AB?
Yeah, we should celebrate. No, I'm kidding. I wouldn't open it. That'd be hilarious, though, just taking it down.
I'm getting shivers after my night last night. Shivers, I say. All right, before we wrap things up, and do not forget, we will be, I don't think we're preempting that. I'll be honest with you. I didn't look. Producer man, can you text me and let me know if we are on Stadium tonight or not? We have a whole list of days where we're preempted, but we're going to be here regardless tonight. We're talking Texans at home against the Bears, 2 1-0 teams. Let's look ahead quickly because, AB, not only will we be able to really sweat the end of the Chiefs and Bengals game, but we're going to look ahead to this tonight. And right now, Houston, after scoring 29 at Indianapolis last week, are laying 6.5, the total at 45.5. What's kind of your initial take about 8 hours before, I guess 9 or 10 hours before game time?
Going to be a really fun game tonight because I'll tell you this about the Bears, all right? Their defense isn't bad. It's not great. They'll give up yardage. They'll give up completions. So it's fun for bettors, but they also were tied for the first place spot last year in interceptions. Their defense causes turnovers. We saw it. The defense beat the Titans by themselves, right? Like, it's going to be a really fun game tonight. You're going to see points. You're going to see turnovers. You're going to see the no-fly zone. I can't wait. This is going to be a great game.
I can't wait either. Chuck, I've always said this, as valuable as you are to us, I think that your strength is live shows in the evening and live betting as well. Do you see this game and kind of the way the first week played out for both as a pretty good live betting opportunity?
What we've been seeing is these first quarters, 7-7s, bunch of points in the first quarters, and then the game's just dying down. So I would not be surprised to see that again because I really like the under in this one. So those primetime unders, primetime picks. So we see a bunch of points in the first quarter. We see a 7-7, 7-3. Then, hey, you can look to instead of that 45.5, it gets up into the 50s. Then you can start looking at the under. So that's kind of been the script. High scoring first quarters, and then it dies down.
Yeah. So maybe attack a first quarter, maybe see where it plays out. We'll have to see. So many of you in the chat, and I'm going to say one more thank you because AB, we were big before, but listen to Melanie. She says, on your way out, hit the like button. I don't think you guys understand how important that like button is, and we have less than 100 likes, but AB, for the first time in the history of our show and our brand, we're over 2,000 people watching live.
It's huge.
Incredible.
It's huge. Thank you so incredibly much. And yes, Melanie, little Barbie Dangerous is correct. When you hit that like button, that's what the algorithm is all about. It is the most important thing that you could do to help not only us, any show, anything on YouTube. If you want to support those people, it's free. Hit the like button. I promise you, it is unbelievably important, and it's free to do.
To tell you how important some of these things are, and I don't want to tout our other show, but I will right here. AB, we had an interview with Chris Van Vliet, who I call the king of wrestling podcasts, right?
Uh-huh.
We were around 7,500 subs on our YouTube page. We posted his interview on Friday. We are now at almost 50,000 views, and we have added almost 1,800 subs in less than 2 days.
Huge.
Because he shared it on his YouTube page.
It's huge, man. That's awesome. Congrats on that.
Incredible. Thank you. But that's when we work together. That's how it works. When you build together, it helps out everybody. So please help us out. Hit that like button, share the show, let everybody know about DTL as we continue to grow and we grow on Stadium. All right, final thoughts today, 15 or 20 seconds as we head into week 2 of a full slate on Sunday. Chuck, start us off.
Those 3 games I have circled, I'm really expecting points. I'm really looking forward to this Cowboys Saints game, but I think we're going to see plenty. I think it's going to be 3 or 4 high scoring games. We may see a bunch of unders, but yeah, really looking forward to this Saints and Cowboys game a lot. So circle that one.
KYCY33. I've been telling all my betting friends about you guys. Great show. Thank you, KY. I'll literally never say that again. All right, AB, your final thoughts.
Hey, my boy Kai for the Cyclone right there, 33. Look, this is the most important thing today. Chris Van Fleet, if you want to repost this show on your – no, I'm just kidding. Look, watch out for the overreactions from week 1 to week 2. Keep an eye on it because it's a very, very real thing.
And also understand this, that there's a lot of teams out there who want to show what they can do. They understand it's a long season. It's 17 games. And there's going to be ups and downs and injuries and all of those types of things. And so a lot of teams want to get in today and they want to get out today. So everything you've heard from AB and Chuck, listen to it, pay attention to it, follow us because we're always trying to lead you to the promised land so we can all share in the wealth together. Gentlemen, well freaking done. Well freaking done. Thank you, producer man, for the one shot. It is now time for all of you to go out into the world, for you to pay it forward. Whatever you're doing on this glorious Sunday, just be thankful you woke up and you're alive and we get to do it, damn it, together. And understand this, there is only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. Brian Tiger, Lobo, my man from the Dirty Big Chuck, my partner AB, the 5-tool player, and never forget about producer man behind the scenes who literally works harder than any of us. If you know, you know, and I am simply the coach trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's truly what we're all about. Every day. Don't forget, we're live tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. It's all under one umbrella at Driving the Line. Good luck.